Firstly, thanks for all the feedback. I'm getting loads of questions and stuff on YouTube, and lots of thanks and questions on Twitter, which is really great. Um, a part of that is often, what's the best product? What should I subscribe to? What's the best product to use? And the question I always reply back is, how often do you want to log in? How often do you want to touch your account? Do you want to just do it once and walk away for a month and leave it? Or is this you trying to learn to do this full time as a job? It's very different, so it depends what you want to do. So what I've done is based on this chart here that Darius updates and released every now and again, based on the best assets in each quad, best sectors, US obviously, US sectors, US factor styles, commodities, etc. Okay. So the most recent big quad change was coming out of September, October, was the kind of flirting with quad 4. Markets were up and down all over the place, and then coming out of that, which I've got as the 9th of November. The 9th of November was the big, Darius made a big song and dance about it, this double quad 2 for the start of 2021. Okay, has the market finished in around about that time? The macro show, it came on there. The early look, it was on there. Some of his tweets, it was all, is that quad 4 done? Has the market priced it in? Is the market now going to price in quad 2? Okay, so that was the most recent big pivot. And since then, he's constantly been on it. Buy more, buy more, buy more. Quad 2, and all the dips, they were buying every dip. It felt like crap. Most recently, 2 weeks ago, it felt like crap, but it's worked. So based on that chart, this goes back to the 9th of November. So this is the outcome for quad 1 allocation, quad 2, 3 and 4, okay? So the last 71 days have been quad 2, okay? If you had $100, it's now $111 based on my simplification of that chart that I just showed you, okay? So I've got each of the quads down here, quad 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, and again, it's my simplification. There's 4 equity sector longs and shorts, the 4 factors, 4 fixed income, 1 FX and 1 commodity. Okay, my simplification, this isn't Hedgeye's simplification, this is my simplification of that chart. Okay, so it's my representation of it. At any one time, although one of these might be along in quad whatever, it may be underperforming, and for whatever reason, we're not allocated to it for such. So that's Hedgeye. Okay, this is just my simplification. I want to just make that clear. I've simplified it in order to show it, and it's way above my ability to add in things like investment ideas and all that sort of stuff. Okay, this is just super simple. If you want to just allocate to the quad and that's it, this is what it can do. Okay, so if you'd have just added to the quad 2 allocation on the 10th of November and walked away from your account, you would have been up 11.6%. Okay, based on my simplification. As we know, in quad 2, you would have had way more than 1 commodity position. Okay, Keith's talked about 5, 6, 7 commodity positions. Okay, you would have had, probably, you could have made the decision, right, I'm not going to short anything. I'm not going to be short anything in quad 2. That could have been your decision. Okay, but that would have increased your volatility if you didn't have the shorts. Okay, that's a decision you could have made. You could have said, I don't know, XLY hasn't performed in quad 2, so I'm going to cut it. That's there's all these decisions you could have made. But this is just me saying, just at a single point in time on the 10th of November, you could have sold everything in your account and just added to those four longs and shorts for the sectors, four longs and shorts for factors, etc., etc. Okay, if you'd have just done that, you'd have been up 11%. You'd have been able to log into your account once, and that's it, until the next time they make a quad change. And this is the point that I want to make in reply to a lot of the questions about which product's best, what do I want to do, can you explain implied volatility against realized volatility, can you? If you want to do this for a job, then yes, you understand all these things, dig into it, learn, but by the opposite token, I guess, you could have made one asset allocation change on the 10th of November and then, I don't know, learnt a language, learnt how to program, spent more time with your kids or your grandkids or whatever. If you just allocate to the quad on quad changes, it makes it much easier that you don't feel like you should be learning all these quant things because you feel like you've missed out on something. Yes, there's plenty of people around making stupid amounts of money, okay? And you feel like, oh, even though I've made 11%, someone else has made 20%. But the decision is easier to make when if you've just added to the quads, if you'd have just done that, everything between then and now would have been easier. You wouldn't have been scared here because you would have been already in the position. You wouldn't have been scared when, people were on Twitter saying it's the end of the world and this blah, 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 VIX is doing whatever and because of this such and such allocation and Reddit's going to blow up the stock market, whatever. Your position would have been much simpler because you were already up 7, 8, 9%. Okay? It would have been easier to add to something knowing that you were already in positive positions. Your decisions would have been easier. Your decision about whether you want to dive into this implied volatility and everything that's shared every morning. You can. If that's your choice to go and do it, then go and do it. But you're able to do it from a position of power because you've already allocated to the quads. So that part of your portfolio is just doing its thing. It's working. You're not doing it from a position of weakness where you're having to learn that because you've made a mistake somewhere else. Okay? So a lot of the questions that come up, and I know there's obviously being in quad 2, there's a lot of FOMO about things and, oh, he's making $70 million in a day and whatever else, okay? If you just allocate to the quads, then all your decisions from that point on are so much easier. If you decide just to allocate to the quad, you don't have to question whether you're selling at the right time at the top end of the range or the low end of the range. You can make the decision just to allocate and then leave it and wait until Darius puts out some data or Keith says something on the macro show. It says, right, yes, the market's done this and we're transitioning to quad 3. And then you just log in again, change to quad 3 and walk away. That's a decision in itself. You can make it harder for yourself by questioning, is it the top of the range? Is the top end of the range going to go higher tomorrow? Am I going to sell too much now? And blah, blah. And again, if your decision is just to make the allocation, just do it because it will make your decisions further on much, much easier. Okay? Then you can try and do all the extra stuff around it. But the most important thing is at the quad change, make the allocation change. Then you can make it as complex as you want by, okay, it's quad 2 or, it's quad 1 or 2, so I'm not going to have any shorts. That's a decision you can make. it's quad 3 or quad 4, right, I'm going to have only fixed income positions, no equity positions. Whatever you want to do, you can make it as complex as you want. But it's easier to add complexity from a position of power of just having the quad positions on, and rather than having to be reactive rather than proactive. So this is just a short-term chart, the last trading day, how many trade days? 71 trading days since the last big quads change, okay? I'm going to make another video and I'll show you a longer dated chart. But again, you'll see when I show you the chart, it's my simplified version of the Hedgeye process. You would have only had to have logged into your trading account or your whatever investment account 10 times in 3 years, and that's it. Okay, so I'll show you that I don't know, maybe tomorrow or the day after, once I've made the video. So I hope that helps, and I guess it doesn't answer specifically any questions. It maybe raises more questions, but you have to make a decision on how you want to use it before you even start. Am I trying to learn how to be a trader, a portfolio manager, or am I just trying to protect my wealth and grow it and go and spend the weekends with my kids or grandkids, or learn how to speak German or French or whatever? What do you want out of it? It can be everything and nothing all at once. So, Darius has posted again this morning or yesterday, just put the quad on. He's clearly saying, even now, just put the quad on. It's quad 2 for the next 2 quarters. Just put the allocation on, okay? Otherwise, you're going to be left making decisions. Again, you're going to be left making decisions reactively instead of proactively, okay? So I hope that helps. If there's any other questions, one thing I do want to say, I make the video and I don't go back through it. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I'll end up spending 10 minutes making a video and then 10 hours going over it and do it. So I just record it and then I put it through the software to make it, and then I post it. I don't go back and check it. So please, if there are any glaring errors or you want me to go over something again, reply, comment on Twitter or whatever, so if there is anything glaring, so that I can change it, okay? So yeah, another video up in the next couple of days. Happy President's Day. I don't know if that's even, is there a Happy President's Day? Anyway, yeah, good luck out there. Cheers, bye.